Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Well, as you can see, I'm busy sat on the wheel of the old scrapyard DOKA project, or rusty DOKA face, or whatever you want to call it. Basically, it's making a one-of-one DOKA project that I'm building to be a show vehicle. In the previous ones, you've seen we got all the suicide doors and stuff done on the cab. I'm having a break from flipping bodywork. I've had enough of sanding. There's only so much of sanding I can do in one go. I will get back on it, but I need a flipping break for it. So, what I'm actually going to get up to now, as I've had a load of metal turn up, is start building the bed. I'm not going to finish the bed, I'm going to start building the bed to try and get the whole look of the van over to you guys, what I want. And it's plain as simple as that. I just need to get it done enough that I can get the ideas into it, etc., and get it looking like I want to get it looking like. So what I've already done, I've put some wheels on which are the right width and height of what I want to use. Not necessarily I'm going to use these wheels, but this is exactly what I want to on it. They're offsets the same, well, I say offsets are right, with 30mm space on it. I've got the offset to be right for the look that I want down the side of the van. So I've got that on there. I've also just wedged a couple of bits of metal together just to work out my overall length of how I want it. I want the proportions of this to be similar to the body without being too long and without chopping chassis, extending it, which I could, but if I don't have to, I'm not going to. And I think this is going to give me the look that I want and be a nice clean, and I mean clean. I'm going to try and get the cleanest look I can possibly get of a bed on the back of it. It's hard to explain what I'm trying to get after and what I'm trying to do as far as the bed, because it's all in here. And we all know there ain't a lot in there. So trying to get out of there might be a little bit harder. I'm going to shake it at the outside. Yeah, probably would come out if I could find some sawdust. But then again, it probably wouldn't be sawdust, I don't do wood. So it's probably metal filings as far as I'm concerned. So if I shake my head enough, I might get some ideas out. So what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to use the bits I've already made, which is the length I want, and I'm going to build some mounts onto where the original factory body mounts are to hold that in place. And then I've got to lengthen the chassis, but I'm not going to lengthen that just yet, because I want to make sure I've got enough of the other metal, which I'm going to use for the outside edge, you'll see what I mean in a minute, to lengthen that, or I've got to order some more. I'd rather get the bed made right, the rest of it, so that. What I've also done is I took out the rear springs and replaced them with what I call mock-up springs. They're basically tubes of metal to the right height that I know I need for the type of spring I'm going to run. So basically I allow the height of whatever the spring is, plus a little bit for the give. That is the height I want, so that's locked in stone. I can't mess around with it. But the thing is, if I do want to go lower at any time, where I'm going to make it is so all I've got to do is lift the bed, put body mount pucks underneath the body mounts, and I could lift it again, the actual bed, so I can slam the vehicle a bit more. So I always have the option of that one. And that's basically it. I just need to basically, my idea is, the body frame is going to come out past the wheel, so it'll be just literally just skimming the edge of the tyre, round, back, with nice curved corners on the end of it. And I want it to sit over the wheel to give the idea of even lower than what it is. And then we'll talk about the middle of the bed as we get onto it. So what I'm going to do is get set up. I'm going to start making some body mounts for this chassis rail. And I've got the other chassis rail sat over there. So I can get those two in the right places, bolted on. And then we can kind of move on from that, I guess, is the easy way of doing it. So, right, let me get set up. And we should get cracking on some progress instead of my waffle. What I was on about. Got the tube that goes down the middle, which I want to get centralised on the actual chassis itself. The body mounts, as you can see, we've already got the factory ones, already with holes already in them, which is already threaded. So as long as I get the right size bolt, we should be able to get them in there. So what I'm going to do is use a bit of box, cut it down at an angle, which will then get welded to the sides there and bolted on down through. So hopefully I'll get my measurements right and get that bit right first. We get this side made and the other side. Once that's bolted on, I can then get onto the next bit. So let's make some triangle body mounts, I guess. Right, so body mounts are in right places. I've got to do a bit of measuring in a minute to make sure this light's 100% square and ready, but in true deck fashion, I need, that's just there as a spacer to space it out 2 inches, because that's where the box section is going to come this way out to basically make the curve around the end. But in true deck fashion, deck uses a block of wood to make the extra space, so I've got the gap between that and the cab. That's just deck being deck, I guess. Never does it the right way. Always gets the right result, but I might not do it the right way, but life is life. So right, I'm going to do a bit of measuring, make sure this bit is all square. Once it's all square, I'll clamp it down, make sure it's all level to the chassis properly, and then when it is, I'm going to give it a good old tacky here and there. I'm not going to go mad with the welds yet, because I just want to tack it all, get it right, and then if I've got to make sure once I've started building the rest of it, I got it right, I will start final weld and everything. But for now, it's just all getting tacked. There's all the little body mounts all now welded in place, and I've been playing mess around, trying to work things out in my head. What I'm trying to get is the tyre so it just tucks just a little bit like that, but we're going to have it not that wide. Of course, it's going to be like that bit there be over, so basically you get the edge going down, which will be just give or take that much outside the tyre, so it gives it the type of look that it's tucked inside. But the side's going to be 2x4, which is basically the same height as both of those two all the way along. So I'm just trying to give the overall impression in my head because I'm trying to work it out. But I actually think I might have cocked up, because the 2x4 I got down there the other side of a bag of rubbish, which, yeah, different matter. I'll go later. But the 2x4 I got 2 7-metre lengths of it. 2 7-metre lengths of it, I thought in my head would have worked right. But I've just been messing around with suspension again and put some lower, what will be the springs, the right height, and that's the height it needs to be to work, to get my lines of the side of this to be just a little bit lower than the swage line on the van. So if you look down there, now if you're going to poke it out properly, yeah, just a little bit lower than the swage line of the van, because I think if it's any lower, it's going to look a bit weird and like out of proportion type thing. I'm trying to keep it a low look, but in the right proportions, and I think if I did it lower, I'm going to cock up. So what I'm going to have to do now is I'm going to have to use some of the 2x2 and put a frame all the way down on top of my chassis rails to build it up a little bit to then do the next one. So yeah, I've just given myself a pile more work, and I mean absolute pile more work, because that stuff down there is bloody expensive and I haven't got no more money for that stuff. And as I've got over there a reasonable pile of 2x2, looks like I'm going to be using a lot more of that. So yeah, great. So I've either got to put another length all the way down on the chassis rails of these and then put box section over it, which is what I'm thinking of doing, just to be able to get what I want. Because what I could have done with is these 2 chassis rails here that I've just welded in place and stuff being the 2x4, but I haven't got that, so it looks like I'm just going to weld another section onto both lots of these just to try and get them the right height to then be able to build my bed with still making the sides look clean, which is what I'm trying to get to. But yeah, this means I got to do a lot more welding, a lot more grinding, because I want all this lot smooth when it's done. So yeah, I've kicked myself right in yeah, you know where. But it's not a problem. All problems have a solution, and the solution is I'm just going to have to do some more work. So that is what it is, isn't it? That's just my life. I seem to kick myself in the you-know-whats quite a few times. And I should have measured right in the first place, shouldn't I? So when I saved up the money to actually buy the metal, yeah, I should have bought another, saved up a bit more and bought another stick of it. Because if I had another like big long stick of the 2 before, I would have used that in the first place. Well, I wouldn't have done. I would have just cut off what I've just done and restarted. But, yeah, that's me, not working things out. And that's the problem with having it in your head and not actually onto paper and struggling to get it into paper. But I'm going to get another couple of lengths of that on there, I think. And I'll be back once I've done that, because you don't want to see me just put another couple of lengths of metal on and weld them on. So let me see if I can get that done, and then I'll work out in my head if that's right. And if it is, then I can move on to the next stage.
2 hours later.
Well, I sat here for a while looking at what I was doing, and I couldn't get my head around it. And I really couldn't get my head around it. I didn't want the 2 pieces of metal welded together going along the chassis rails, because it just really would not look right. And I just couldn't do it, and I couldn't do it. So I walked away. Went home and had something to eat, freshen my mind, had a sit down, had a think about it and stuff. Then realised how much of a flipping idiot I was being. I even mentioned it right at the flipping beginning, that if I was going to lower it more, I could raise a bed with body spacers. As in the same thing as you would do a body lift on a 4x4, etc, with some pucks. Yeah, I know. What an absolute prize. But, oh well. But, in true fashion, I couldn't sleep. So, 2 o'clock in the morning, here I am, back down the shed. I've put the body spacers in. As you can see on there, you see where they all are in the bits there. So, it's now in there with the body spacers in it, which are isolated. I've only got 6 of them, so I'm going to have to order some more for when I build the bits at the back. But the bits at the front, I said, they're in there now. So that's now raised up. The 50mm I wanted. So I now don't have 2 pieces of metal going across here. I only have the 1. So it looks back right again. And I've also isolated the bed. And I actually think once that's all painted and stuff, that's going to look pretty bloody smart. So, as you can see right there, it's looking better than what I did. I've also gone and put some little blocks of wood underneath the wheels to try and level the body out a bit more. Now I've now got the whole body sitting, I think it is at 0.5 degrees. So it's about right, close enough to build the body off of. I use my little digital leveler all the time, every time I do it. So now I can move on to my next bit, like I wanted to do earlier. But I was just being an absolute prize dick. It's the easy way of putting it. And I had, builder's block. Yeah, I know. One of them. But I'm here now to rectify the situation. So let's see if we can start building some of the edges and stuff. As in the outside perimeter, I guess. Which ain't going to be the easiest because it's bloody heavy metal. So, yeah. Let me get set up for that and we'll have a little chat about that, shall we? Right, so I've just busted my arse and got a dirty, great big 7 metre length of 4x2 box section, which is actually quite a thick wall tube, whatever you want to call it. It's too late to worry about what it's called. That was what I'm going to basically put around the outside of the whole frame. So it basically builds the whole outside, which should be on the bottom of that box over there. I'd go on the bottom of this tube here. So basically I end up with 2 inches above the top of that. And when we come around to the tyre, at the moment, it basically go back that low there. So it gives it the angle of low. So I basically end up with a nice 3 inches of clearance above it. So we notch round it, make it look exactly as it should do to be able to slot over it. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get a couple of bits of box section, clamp it to the bottom of these 2 tubes so I know which height it needs to go onto on the front. Cut a 2 metre length, which is over the width I need for the front, so I can get that lined up roughly in the right place, and then we can start building off of that. So yeah, I'm going to cut that with a flipping grinder. Oh yay. Lovely, just what I want to be doing this time, like cutting thick metal with a grinder. But it needs to be done, so let me get on with it. right bit we cut. It's now centred off the centre of the body on that bit, so we've got that roughly in the right place. I also done exactly the same on the back end because it's identical. All I've done at the moment, as you can see by these bits here, we just got to start out from, well, basically clamped underneath just to get the right height. So now I can work out the length I need, because I need to work the length out, because then I need to work out exactly where the centre of the wheel is to cut the little arch out of it. So once I cut the wheel arch out of it, I can then get it sat in roughly about the right place, and then I know how long the end bits I need to cut off, because all these are too long at the moment. They're probably, I would guess probably 5 centimetres too long in each corner, but I'd rather have it like that, then I can work out everything exactly as I go. As I said, need to cut out a bit for the inside and replate the inside out. What I mean by that basically is where the wheel's going to tuck, I need a wheel arch gap. So the wheel arch gap's basically got to be cut out the back of the box and then rejoin back in. So yeah, I suppose the easiest thing I need to do is cut the two lengths. And then I know what length it is. Then if I space that up another, if I space that up again, another, yeah, if I put another bit of box section on there to space that up again, and then I'll be able to then hold it in roughly in the right place to be able to work out where the wheel arch needs to go, I guess. I reckon that'll work. Alright, I'm going to give it a go anyway. I'm just standing here for just contemplating things like I did the other day instead of just using my brain and just getting on with it. So, right, let's get them two cut, and then we'll work out together after that, I guess. Right, so that's just the first initial clean-up. What I've tried to do, I turn it over, as you can see there, I've kept the lip, actually where the metal rolls round, I've kept that there. I mainly need to take a tiny bit more out of the corner there. But I kept that, because one, if I went up to the edge, you end up with a little notch in the side, which wouldn't give the same clean look of the whole box all down. Plus I lose a fair bit of strength. So hopefully I'll clean this little bit up in the corner to make it the same all the way down, and then once I've done that, we'll test fit. Hopefully I've got it in the right place where the wheel arch is, so we're getting somewhere. Yeah, so after a good hour or so of piss-assing around trying to get this thing all clamped in just so I can show you guys what it looks like. I need more bloody clamps, I ain't got enough, but yeah, that is what it is. I managed to clamp it on all the corners and stuff roughly in the right place, give or take the odd few mil here and there, so I can now give you the idea of the kind of look that I'm going for. As you can see there, we've got the wheel there, which has got a nice straight line all the way down through the wheel, which is what I was trying to say. If I was where I've notched the inside out, if I came right to the edge, you would end up with a little recess up here because it takes that rolled edge off, and I don't want that. I just want the clean look. Got enough room inside there for the tyre movement and plenty around the back. So I'm quite happy how that sits there. I'm quite happy with the overall look. I might at some point get bigger actual like body mount spacer things, but at the moment I'm quite happy how that's sitting. Ideally I wanted it to be in line with here, but we're a few inches down, and I don't know whether, sorry, they're blaming Jackson away, but I think that's going to look reasonably alright at that height going down. It gives it a long sleek look, which is what I'm trying to get out of this van. It's getting to the idea of the vision coming out of my head, but it's a hard one to try and get everything out of my head into this in one go. I am going to be finishing off these corners properly, as in they are going to be curved round to finish, which I'm going to do with some tube, which is basically I'll just cut this off and weld a tube onto the outside, blend it all in, etc., and that'll be curved. I did go out of my way to make a piece which is over there. I can't be bothered to actually. Let's wander over there, I'll show you what I mean. I was going to do it like this, but I realised with the weight of how strong, or how heavy the big steel box section is, I'm not going to be able to move it around by myself. So that's what I was going to do, is bend it around, weld it back on. But I'm going to get the same approach and same idea by doing what I'm going to do with some tube on the edges of it. So I'm not worried about where the edges finish off. I'm not worried that the edges aren't capped. And I'm not worried about having 45 in the edges, which a lot of people would do, but I'm not bothered about that at the moment because I'm going to curve the corners anyway. So that's all that matters to me, and I definitely want 100% square edge in here, and we'll see that when we get a bit further on. So I guess I need to make the other side to match, and then once I got the other side to match, I suppose I could. No, I can't. I'm going to have to I was just about to say I could box the whole thing in, and like actually tack the weld it all in, but I can't. I'm going to have to box all in the back of here to stop all the crap going flying through. Yeah, I better do. I don't want throwing crap down the inside of the tubes and start rusting. This is plain and simple as that, but as we can see, we're going to start to see just stick outside the body, which is exactly what I wanted. This is why I put spacers on the wheels, etc, etc. So right, I'm going to make another one then, which you've just seen me make one, so you don't need to see me again, and I'll be back in a minute. Alright, morning guys. Right, yesterday before I went home, I got the other side done, so we now got two matching sides. What I also done was got it all perched in places, so I make sure I just like work out exactly how it's all going to go. I want to show you guys what it looks like. But you can see down there how much clearance we've got from the wheel. And if you look at the camber of the tyre, that's got plenty of room to clear past the edge of that there. So we're getting there with that. But as you can see now, that's the height of it. I wouldn't mind it a little bit higher, but we might come across that later. All I'm going to do is put bigger body spacers or pucks or whatever you want to call them in there. But you can see now the size of the bed and how I want that. Well, how I'm filling the inside, that's a different matter at the moment. We're not going into that bit yet. So I'll go through and work out now what I need to do. I think the first thing I'm going to do, I need to basically box back in the bits I cut out for the wheel arches to make them round so no water, moisture or anything else gets in there. So I think that's going to be the first thing I do. get that one and that one boxed in. So yeah, I think I'll get them done. That stuff ain't light. Right, what we've got, I got the curve there, what I got. So basically all I'm going to do is make the same strip width as that all the way around, so it'll sink into there, make the curve, weld it on that line, weld it on that line, and up there. Not the hardest thing in the world, so I'll just measure around the distance I need from there, and I'll get welding, take the two little corners out, and we weld them in. So I'll do that on time lapse because that's quite simple to do. Get that one done, I'll get the other one done, and then we'll see you after the time lapse.
I don't wanna waste a minute, don't have any plans, bring it. If you got a glass, fill it, cause I need it, Monday is a in it, I don't wanna think about it. So if you know the song, sing it, cause I need it, Take me to a place where the music's loud, I don't wanna think right now. Flashing lights running through the crowd, I don't ever wanna stop. So let's get out, I got money in my pocket and I'm about to f***ing drop it with you now, with you now. Tear the roof off every building, I know I'll be spending millions with you. Just tell me what you wanna do. So let's get out, I got money in my pocket and I'm about to spend it all. I don't wanna waste a minute, don't have many plans, wing it. If you got a glass, fill it, cause I need it, Monday is a in it, I don't wanna think about it. So if you know the song, sing it, cause I need it, Take me to a place where the music's loud, I don't wanna think right now. Flashing lights running through the crowd, I don't ever wanna stop. So let's get out, I got money in my pocket and I'm about to f***ing drop it with you now, with you now.
Alright, well, at least after all that welding and grinding, I might put this bit back in place and show you guys what it actually looks like. Good job, put some marks there, I know where it goes, man. All close enough. This is what I was trying to achieve. All now boxed in, all smoothed off, nice curved lines. Plenty of room for the tyre to go in there. Right, so now we've got these bits. What I need to do is start to square off all the corners and stuff. I'm not worried about the corners as such, as in these corners right here, because I've got some other metal on waiting to turn up so I can get them. But I need to join it and make sure this is all square before we attach the main legs to it. Because if I don't, I might just nudge it, what a dick. But I need to get it, well, also said, if I don't, the problem I've got is I might not have 100% square. So what I want to do is get square, so I'm going to corner measure from one corner to the far corner and the same back again. As long as I get the right measurements, I will then throw a few tacks on here and there, make sure it's all level and clamped across. And once I've got that, I can then 100% centralise it between the rails, and then we can start doing a bit of welding. Yay! All that, I've just done enough of it. Oh well, life is life, isn't it? So, right, let me, where's my tape measure? Oh, I'm going to have to walk all the way over there to get my bloody tape measure, right? Measuring, I guess. As per usual, my tape measures everywhere I don't want it. Can you hold the corner for me? At the same time as holding the camera line. Just to make it a little bit awkward for you. Right, so if you can hold that in the corner there for me, Mr. Camera Woman, or Mrs. Camera Woman, or whatever you want to be known as. You didn't hold that very well, did you? Oh my god, really? We're going to play them games, are we? You're going to get sacked today. And if you can take that to that corner too. The same corner over there. And hopefully this measurement's the same. If it is the same, I don't have to move nothing, but I don't think it's going to be. Hmm, 292.5. And then back to that corner again. No, we're out somewhere. Right, which corner's not right? Oh, I've got a centimetre out somewhere, so I'm going to carry on squaring this up, and then I'll be back in a minute. Alright, so after quite a while of piss-assing around trying to get this square, got it 100% square, well, within a millimetre, and I'm really not going to care about a millimetre. So, right, I'm going to zap some tacks, very, very hot tacks in all the corners, so it doesn't move. And once I've done that, we can then move on to the next thing. Let me square on. Steve, square me up. Yeah, that's square. Piss off, man. Can't see shit. That's all four corners of very, very hot tacks. I'm going to chuck a few more tacks onto the edges, and I think I might actually put a couple of even hotter welds on it, so then I know it's 100% locked in place. Oh, one lovely big fat juicy weld. I reckon I should go and get like re-welded around, go around, or re-weld? I only find me weld them, this stupid twat. And you go around and weld all of them the same as that, and I know it's 100% locked in place. So, I'll be back to you guys in a minute. Right, so now we've got all the corners welded in, which is all these bits around here. It's got some quite nice little dimes on there, I suppose you would say. Meter and dimes, just, yeah, no, that don't happen. I just welded it, solid, job done. What I'm going to be working on now is getting the actual cross braces actually welded in, because I've spent a little bit of time off camera, squaring everything up, levelling everything up. I've got it within, what, 0.1 degree all the way around, matching from side to side and end to end. So I'm going to now get the cross beams welded in, which is the bars that go across, which have got all the mounts and stuff on it, even though we've still got to do the back bit there. So I'm going to get them welded in there, and then I can start taking some of this reinforcement crap that I've got in the way back out, so we can put some cross braces in. So that is my next mission. If I fell now, this would be hilarious, wouldn't it? Absolutely hilarious if I fell off here on camera. I don't want it, Mike, it's bloody earth. That?
Letting go,
I've just screwed up. How the hell am I going to get my welder in there? I wonder what we can get. This is going to look a mess, but we've got to get some welding in there somehow. We won't be showing nobody them welds, I don't think. They look horrendous because I can't get the blend welder in the end of it. But, oh well. Right, that's them welded. Let that cool off and we can get on to the next bit. Alright guys, there we go. Some of the clamps off, some of it's still braced because we haven't got it supported at the back yet. What I'm now going to do is extend the chassis legs. I want them to come to about there-ish. So what I've got is 2 bits of offcuts which are exactly the same length because that's exactly what it was. So I've got the 2 of those which I've marked where they need to go into on both of them. So we're now going to go and weld them and clamp them in places, space them all out, get them 100% level, square, etc. and get them welded in place. Right, so what you would have seen and what I've just done on that time lapse is got them all clamped in place, all square, all in exactly the same distance, so we've got both the same at the end. I needed a bit of a spacer because I needed the gap to be the same all the way down, because of course that's got a thicker bit than what that is. As in, it's got, oh look, because that's got a thicker bit there than what that is, so I needed the gap. So knocked up a couple of little spacers, both the same both sides, got it all clamped in place, so now I can get on with doing a bit of welding. So I've been working on all these bars for a little while. I worked out that I need the bars to sit 1 inch down on the top because of what I'm covering the board, like the top part with, will need to be 1 inch down and I want it to sit flush. So what I'm doing is going around and marking, not moving it, get back there you twat, marking each one of the joints all the way around and all the little joints all the way around so I know where to put it. I know I need to go up 1 inch, so I now move over to the bench, mark the rest of that, and then we'll chop it out, put it in, tack it in. Oh no, it makes it sound really easy. I've been doing this for bloody hours. Where's my square? Ah, for God's sake. This thing needs to be tied around my neck, I reckon. Perhaps I might tie it a bit tighter as well. Right, markings. I love a speed square. It's like so easy. It does what I see. Mark that side, that's that one done. Mark the other end, get it, chop it out. I don't know what it is. You wear eye protection, you seem to get more shit in your eyes than you do without it. And people wonder why I wear things. Or don't wear them, in my case. That, go back in there, and sit down, 1 inch, both sides. Oh. Scrapey scrapey noises. Alright, let's get this thing clamped in place. Throw a few tacky rudies on there. And no, I'm not wearing a welder mask because I'm tacking stuff. So we get a few tacks welded on there, and that should be all that off, ready for a day's worth of welding. Yippee! Right, so what I've got is two little spaces that sit either side of the metal. So one goes that side, one goes that side. When I put the box section across and clamp it, that should be sitting exactly square in the middle where I want it. How's that staying there? There's a bit of magic going on here. A bit of metal's just hanging there with free air doing nothing. Need about 10 pairs of hands. So what it does, basically makes that clamped in place. I know it's 100% square because I already squared them off anyway, I've got no markings on it. But that now sits completely nutty flush, so I can chuck a couple of tacks on it. Other side done as well. Well, that one right down back of my neck. Now I've just got to let them cool down, and once they're cooled down I can then take the clamps off. As we can hear, the metal's creaking away at the moment, but once it's cool, take the clamps off, and then that's basically ready for welding. Actually it's not. I'll go tap these before I go. Let's get these ones on. This that one together. People wonder why I always have a suntan in the middle of winter. So I've now got all the top parts welded. I've got to go around and get all the edges yet, but I've got all the top parts welded, so I know it's all in the correct place. So what I've done, I'm now going to move on to getting the rest of the body mounts in, because we've got the front ones. I had them arrive earlier, so I can now get the rest of the body mounts in, which is basically on the lines that I've put there. I need 2 more body mounts at the back to hold the body on. So I need to make sure this is 100% level and everything now, as in level to the body. I know the front bar is, so what we'll do now is I get my little digital thing out, put them on there, zero them out. That's him zeroed out. Let's go see if I've managed to get the back jacked up in the right place, shall we? .2. So I've just took that to 0.2, jacked the corner up a couple of times with a jack with a block of wood. As you can see now, 0.0. So we're absolutely bang on level across. I like using them because it doesn't matter what the floor is underneath, you know you got it level. So now I can go about grabbing the body mounts I made the other day, Now we get them all tacked in the right places, and yeah, that'll be the body then, be able to be bolted on and bolted off whenever I need to. Right, there's the body mounts I made the other day. I need to get some different bolts that are the wrong shape, so I'm going to get them in the right place from there. Couple of tacks here and there, and then after I've got a couple of tacks here and there, I can then hopefully remove the bars out of underneath and give them a nice big full weld. So, right, let's get that done, shall we? That's them all packed, so I can now get them fully welded in, same as all the other ones. I know 100% this body is now mounted, I've to remove all the bits out of it. So I'm getting there. Doing. That's all them full welded in place. So I'm moving on to the next thing, which I don't know whether I'm going to do small welding down there or I start playing with something else. Let me have a workout. I will work out which way I want to do it, and yeah, I can move on then, can't I? Right guys, next thing I need to get done there. As I said before, I left all these long for a reason. What I'm going to be doing, I want to curve all these corners so they make a nice little curve around it. I did think about doing a bit where you cut the bit out, do the rest. I did even make a template for it, but this stuff's so heavy and unwieldy, I couldn't have done it by myself. And as I'm here by myself, I've got another way of doing it, and it involves a bit of 3-inch tube. So as you can see, this is the general idea. That's not going up that height before you think about it. What I'm going to do is get that in the right place, mark it so I know where the corner is exactly, cut that bit off there, same bit like all the way down to where this would be, cut the same bit out of the tube and we weld it in all the corners. And that way I get a nice smooth curved look to the bed. So it's like a lovely curved line, looks flowing, and it finishes it off nicely. Hence the reason why I left these the length I did. So that's my next mission, is getting on with some of these. So I think I'm going to mark them. I'm going to cut with a plasma, I think. It's going to be making my life a lot easier cutting with plasma than with a grinder, I think. I know I've got a lot more cleaning up to do with it, but I think it'd be worth it and quicker just do it with the plasma. So, right, let's get one corner all done on camera. Do it with you guys, then I can get the other 4 corners done because it's going to be a repeat of it. So, yeah, let's get planning. Planning? Well, I've just planned it, you idiot. Let's get marking, as I should have said, and get it done. Right, so first things first. I've not cut into this tube. All I want to do is curve the outer edge round there. I know I would like to get it so it curved here so it would be equal both sides, but I don't want it. I only want a small curve to the edge of it. So let's get the tube on there. work out where it matches both corners without me falling off. That lines up there. That lines up there. Does it? Stay there, tube. It's going to fall on my head, isn't it? So the edge of there is going to need to be there. That's the edge of that, which means it needs to go out to there. Somewhere around that I would have thought. Let's mark it and see if it looks right, shall we? Does that look right? No, it needs to be in a little bit further. Not on one edge, not on this edge. That's where it needs to be, right there. That's the one. That's what we need. Because that round up the weld in it, which will basically grind off smooth anyway. So that's that. You stay there. Do not hit me in the head. So where that would finish will be about there-ish for the centre of that tube, isn't it? I would say. So that's where that's going to probably finish. So let's get plasma, right? Cut that off. I'm not going to cut the bottom off yet, because when it goes down I'll get it in there and then I can just trim around it anyway. Makes life easier. So, alright, get plasma set up. And hopefully I don't trip my electric a million times. Just after I plasma cut off, I just cleaned it all up a little bit and V'd it so we got someone for the weld to go. There's my bit cut out. So now you can start to see why I left that bit at the bottom. It's just going to make my life easier for holding it in place to be able to weld it. So that's there, that fits in exactly where I want it, in line with where it goes. So I'm going to try and find a way of trying to clamp it across and chuck a couple of tacks across it and cut the top off, cut the top off and weld some more around it. So I'm actually starting to show you now how exactly I wanted the corners, and I'm quite happy with how that's going to be. So let's clamp it and get on with that. Where's my clamps gone? There'll be a clamp. Let's melt this one, shall we? Seem to have liked melting clamps today. I don't know which way around with that. Shouldn't make any difference really, but this is a way it's going to fit better. Oh, actually, I think it might actually fit better that way around. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Come on, clamp. So, might just have to give that a little lovey tap with my little tappy hammer. Just to make that go in a little bit more. Lovely. That went in nicely. Right. A couple of tacks on both sides and then cut a bit more off. No, that's tack. Let's get cutting the remains off and put a couple of tacks on the other places. That can now come off. I'll do the usual, chuck it away. There we go. tacks in place. Now it's a case of I've got fully welded all out and lineage it all back. Lovely bit of sanding work on it and blend it all in. But that's going to have to wait till the next episode because I've run out of time for this one. So hopefully guys you can start to see now what I'm trying to get out of it and my vision that's in my head. It's not 100% my vision because it's changed a little bit along the way, but it's changed for the better. So hopefully you like what I'm doing. If you do, hit the thumbs up button. I would really appreciate it if you're not subscribed, just subscribe to the channel to watch the next episode and the ones after that. We've got a lot more progress to do on the Doka and a long way before it's finished. So if you could, hit that subscribe button, share it. The more people it gets out there, the more views we get, better we get. And the more I'll push myself, I will. Now I'm deliberately pushing as hard as I can now, but I would always give myself another 10% harder push if I have to. But until the next one guys, all you guys out there stay safe and yeah, peace out.